Everything is awesome post-stroke. You know what it is, though? It's my stroke-iversary, 3-year stroke-iversary.
Hey, yeah.
Coming up.
It's your party and you can cry if you want to.
Wait, are these tears of joy? I think they're tears of joy.
They're tears of progress.
They're tears of progress. Stroke-iversary episode. Hi, I'm Joe.
And I'm Lauren.
And we are the NeuroNerds.
Yes, that was on time.
I feel pretty good about that.
NeuroNerds.
Welcome to the NeuroNerds.
Hey, guys.
So I say it all the time, like, I have a very special episode. Everyone is special.
I was going to say, everyone is awesome. No.
Every episode is awesome. You know,
but they're not all the same.
They're not. So I'm celebrating my 3-year stroke-iversary.
Dun, dun, dun.
Bum, bum, bum. That's a weird noise that just came out of my face. So Joe's been alive for... No, I've been alive a lot longer.
I'm like, you've been alive for 40 some years.
I've lived for 3 of them.
Yes.
I've been like actually living life for 3 of them. So this is my 3-year stroke-iversary. So it's been a lot, you know, even considering. So I've said this a lot over the past like couple of weeks. I've lived more life in the past 3 years than I have in the 30 plus years prior.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not easy. Like somebody hit me up and it was like, well, you know, life's hard. It is.
Mm-hmm.
Life is so hard.
Yeah.
There's so many difficult moments or so many difficult times, but that doesn't mean that it's always that way, you know?
Right. It's not even for like some of the worst situations there are out there. And I've been watching my share of documentaries recently.
Nerd.
Yeah. Like oh my God, I was watching one on Liberia and like some of the ex-generals that practice cannibalism and stuff like that. Like, but I mean like.
Oh, so what you're saying is just some light watch.
Yeah, some light shows, but like even somewhere like in Liberia right now, where it is one of, I think when I looked at the rankings, it's the 10th it's the 10th poorest country in the world or something like that, or the 7th. But there is still opportunities for there to be some lightness in your day if you just happen to live there. Like, again, your life is not 24/7, 365 horrible. You might have, you know, some good in your life that you find.
You just go as basic as possible. You know what I mean? And I forgot who I was talking to, and they're like, yeah, just go really, really basic. I was like, hey, you know, like if it was a good day. Like, no, even more basic than that.
Like the fact that you have oxygen in your lungs.
Exactly. You opened your eyes today and you got to see. Boom. Done. That's an amazing time. You're having an amazing day. And
there's a gratefulness that should go in there. You know, to whatever, if you believe in a higher power, if you believe in God or the universe, there is a gratefulness that you went to sleep the night before and then woke up.
Right.
Or the simulation didn't reset. Like,
yeah, that's true.
The game is still playing.
So we just chatted with Lauren Humpleby.
Yes.
From Yorkshire.
Yes, North Yorkshire in England.
To be specific. And Lauren, I didn't know this. Her stroke caused the loss of her voice. She had to relearn how to speak.
Yeah.
But she's doing well and she's getting back to where...
Well, it's because she's a Lauren. Laurens are awesome.
Yeah, Lauren's kick-ass. Also found out that Lauren is 6 feet tall.
Yeah, so
not this Lauren.
Yeah, no. I'm apparently little Lauren.
This little Lauren is closer to 5 feet tall than 6.
Okay, yes, technically.
So it's all about perspective, you know? Like I can speak.
Yes.
Not well.
Well, you couldn't speak well before.
That's very true. Again, still working on English. You know, so
I'm trying, guys, to get him to go back to Spanish. I buy him Star Wars comic books in Spanish.
Steps.
I sit with him and read it in Spanish, but can I get him to speak English either? No.
Steps. It's all steps. So, I mean, it's perspective. I think perspective over the last couple of years has really helped me progress. It's really helped me stay positive in really negative situations.
Yeah.
And for me, it's really easy to go negative because it's so comforting, Lauren.
Well, of course it is.
I hate that it's comforting.
Well, that's why I have so many people live in the victim mentality.
Yeah.
There is a decadent indulgence in the sorrow, the wallowing, the self-pity.
Oh my God. The wallowing, the sorrow, the self-pity, the miserable. It's so to me, it's like the chocolate Godiva cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory. it's so dense and decadent. It's so good.
And it's comforting.
It is.
Because
but it's horrible.
Yeah. It's not good for you.
No.
It is not.
No.
But so many times people get stuck in that phase. You have to go through that stage. It's part of the grieving process. It's part of growth.
It's the yin and yang of life.
Yeah. It's like rock bottom, right? So when you hit rock bottom, like hopefully sometimes you hope you hit so hard you have to bounce back up. But sometimes you don't. You kind of slide into rock bottom. And it's not bikini bottom, right? There's no SpongeBob there.
Right, there's no pineapple.
It's like the bottom of the Mariana Trench. So you're like, okay. And instead of fighting your way through the different levels of the ocean, right? You're like, oh, I'm just going to become like a little cucumber and just kind of snow angel my way through the sand at the bottom of the ocean.
I'm just here now.
Yeah.
You know, and it's again, being a recovering Catholic, this is just what I was used to.
I will just say, I encourage you to fight through all that, the deepness of that ocean, because do you know what they find down there in the Marianas Trench? Or that deep? You got your giant octopus down there.
The kaiju?
Right. Well, okay, maybe a kraken or two. But they've also found like a shark down there.
Wait, that deep?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wait, by the way, that was weird.
I think
that was a very strange sound that came out of you.
Well, because I got excited. I actually think it was at the bottom of Challenger Deep, which is outside of the Marianas Trench. And they had baited the bottom of the ocean with like some dead fish. And they were just expecting like little crabs to come eat at it and pick at it and some small fish. And then all of a sudden, like this like part of a shark, they just saw this giant kind of shark come in and just start chomping down. And it was so big they couldn't actually get it on the camera screen. So they don't know what kind of shark it is.
So you know what the dead fish were? They were shark bait. Ooh ha ha.
Yes, it was shark bait.
Ooh ha ha.
Yes.
I love how no matter what the subject, and I mean this, Lauren, any subject in the world, you can make it nerdy.
Yeah.
Anyone.
Yeah.
Anyone. It's so crazy. Your mind fascinates me. And it's not just because it's recovering from the concussion. It blows your mind blows my mind.
Yeah.
You know, but I appreciate it. Like it's helped me. You've helped me tremendously through all of this. You were like the catalyst in a lot of my recovery because you were the first person that I chatted with where I was like, you're like me.
Yeah, it's not just sympathy or pity. Yeah.
You understand, which is really weird to me because a lot of people just don't understand. You know what I mean? Like it's so, all right, normies, anybody who
muggles.
You muggles out there. Anybody who doesn't understand, like try to understand. You can, I understand you can only sympathize. You can't really empathize with what we go through, but we're not asking you to make it better. We're asking you not to make it worse. So if we're talking about how tired we are, if we're talking about our post-stroke or post-brain injury fatigue or brain fog, please don't say, hey, I get really tired too. Man, I'm exhausted. I know exactly how you feel. It's not the same thing.
No, it's not.
It's the worst or brain fog. Well, I forget things. No, it's not the same. It's the same struggle I have when I try to describe night terrors to somebody. They're like, oh, I have really bad dreams too.
Oh, no. Night terrors are its own breed.
It's not the same. So again, we're not trying to tell you like, oh, we're just don't compare. Just don't compare.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it's a natural instinct. I think a lot of the muggles out there.
Yeah, normies.
But it's not just muggles in the brain injury community. It's in the sense of anything with like trauma or anything like PTSD, things like that. People don't have a huge, maybe an emotional vocabulary or an emotional or compassionate maturity.
Oh, yeah.
So they feel compelled to make a comparison in order to try and say like, oh, I understand you. But they try to use a comparison to liken what we're going through to their own. Instead of like bringing themselves up to us, they're trying, or like, yeah, like there's like this, they're trying to make it an equitable thing in order to share experiences.
And it's impossible.
But it is like, I can't go up to a veteran and say, oh, I understand your PTSD, because I can't.
It's a different thing.
Yes, it's a completely different thing. I can, as someone who it's in this community with trauma and stuff like that, I can empathize, right? And I can, what can help is I can talk about my experience, not saying, oh, I know what you're feeling.
Right.
I can say, well, when I feel like this is what helps me. does any of that help you?
Right.
Because I'm not trying to say, I know exactly what you're going through.
Hey, I know how to fix that.
Exactly. Or it's going out of your way to educate yourself.
Right.
So for all those normies and muggles out there, like the most important thing, and I'm sure Joe will attest to this, especially through his extensive progress that he has made in his 3 years.
Oh, Joe's amazing.
Like at the end of the day, if you have no idea what to say, but you want to say something because, you do want to be like, I support you, you can always ask someone, what helps? What would be the best thing for me to say or do? What helps? And
I'll immediately say, hand me a crisp $100 bill. It would help so much.
Yeah, I was going for like a serious thing. And then Joe, thank you, Joe.
Oh, wait, no, that's not serious. Okay,
sure,
so
whatever.
Okay.
But like Joe, if someone that was like in the muggle camp, right, was trying to empathize or at least to, like, you're talking about neurofatigue or brain fog, and they were trying to like relate to you, would you prefer someone to ask you and be like, look, like, I want to support you.
Absolutely.
How can I support that?
I would love to just, if you have a question, ask. You know what I mean? Like, well, what does it feel like? Because to me, hearing it, like if I was a normie, it would be like, it just seems like you're just like really, really tired.
Yeah, you're tired. Go take a nap.
And then I would try to explain, it doesn't work that way.
It's not
and then
that.
try to educate. Yeah, I guess what would help me, and I think people in our community, is ask questions for knowledge. Don't ask questions thinking you already know the answer.
Right. Like if you already have pegged it in a box, it's probably not the right box.
Right. And again, worst case, like one of the best things to do is just, hey man, that sucks.
Yeah. Acknowledge that it sucks.
Just acknowledge, no matter, you don't have to understand what's going on. You just know that really seems like it sucks and it's really affecting you. And I'm sorry that you're going through that.
Yeah.
Hey, if there's something that I can do, please let me know. Just be supportive, be a friend.
Yeah. Cause like, let's be honest, all of us in the community, we all rush our own recovery. I do the same thing, right?
Do you want to know why? We all have brain injuries.
Right? So we like to think that we're further along than probably what we are. But how many times do we even minimize where we're at? Like I have been ignoring the fact that I probably have had a good spell of neurofatigue for the past 3 months.
3 months. Yeah. Keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I've been minimizing that and just telling myself I'm stressed and I'm tired. But when I actually sit and actually think about it, I'm like, I actually think it's neurofatigue, but I'm not giving myself the permission or the time to like acknowledge and rest because, God forbid I take a break. Right. So I think we already have a hard enough time trying to like validate our unseen conditions and our unseen symptoms of recovery, that when we have someone come in and completely like almost even more diminish.
The worst.
Yeah. So like you tell someone, oh, I have some neurofatigue going on. They're like, oh, bro, me too. I'm tired. I went out drinking last night and I'm hungover.
I partied and then I had to open the store and then I had shipment come in and then I had another thing that I had to do. It's like, that sucks. Do you want to know why I'm exhausted?
I can't have more than one thought at a time.
I read 3 paragraphs and I had to take a 6-hour nap. You know what I mean? Like here's what sucks. For me in particular, I can't speak for anybody else, but I have spoken to a lot of people in the community. And it's so frustrating because it's like little things.
Yeah, it's almost like I hate all these like terms, but it's like microaggressions, right? It's like those are the worst ones. It's not the big ones. It's not like saying, oh, you can't walk or something like that. Or like, oh, I remember when I broke my foot. But it's like the little things.
It's like when I blew out my knee. What was really, really annoying is a paper cut that I had. I would take 3 blown out knees more than that one paper cut.
If you enjoy listening to this podcast, please consider leaving us a 5-star review on the Apple Podcast app. Your reviews help us grow and reach more listeners like you.
Find us by searching for the NeuroNerds on the Apple Podcast app today. So in talking to a couple of people, we talk about the really intense things that we've done physically. Mm-hmm. And it's like, sometimes that fatigue is significantly different than, I had a difficult conversation that I really had to think back at.
Yeah.
And I was done for the day just with that one conversation. Because even saying that out loud, does that really make sense? Even to me, it happens to me. It still doesn't make sense to me, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's our brain healing. The brain's a muscle.
Yeah.
It's exhausted. So like, I get that. But sometimes it's hard for normies to understand. But you did all this physical stuff and you were okay. But then you just had a conversation and like you're out. Like, that's the brain's strange. You know what I mean? That's taken me a long time to adapt and adjust to as well.
Yeah.
You know? Actually, it took me a long time to even admit that I had a brain injury.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
It's so, to me, I'm over it now. It made me feel so weak. It made me feel like I was a lesser than person.
Right.
And I preach so much. I didn't really practice what I preached. I was like,
I don't think any of us do.
I don't think any of us do. Why, Lauren?
Come on.
Why are we the worst?
I say that collectively as human beings, not just us in particular.
No, it's only us.
Nope.
We're the only ones that matter. No, arrogant Joe. So yeah, I don't know why we do that. Let's just follow our own advice. Let's be better, you know? Once I did, I remember I cried, like ugly cried. Again, it's been established. Joe's not an attractive crier. But like I ugly cried.
You could have just stopped at not attractive.
Oh, Lauren's a dick. So I was like, I had whatever it was, my response to whatever it was, yeah, but I had a brain injury. And even saying it out loud, I was like, I might have been in therapy and I just broke. I just completely broke because it was the first time I said it out loud, you know? And it's hard to say. I don't know why it makes you feel weak. You have no control over it. It happened, you know?
Yeah, but I think we're always taught like, you know, mind over matter, and like we have to control our emotions, and there's a lot of maturity tied up into like how we function day to day. Yeah, I know. You're looking
maturity?
Yeah. That's a three. What is that? Mature. That's a 4-syllable word.
I'll get there one day. Joe Borges. Forever 13.
I know. But again, our brain creates our reality.
Right.
So I think the first lie we all tell ourselves is that we can control our bodies, which we cannot. You cannot control your body. Your body wins every day, right? You try. Everyone who's ever done a diet knows you cannot control your body.
Yeah, try to walk by bacon and stay on that diet. Vegans.
But I think even worse is trying to control your brain, because that's like trying to control it by like the same thing, trying to control it.
Dude.
And then add a brain injury on top of that.
Brain is bizarre.
Well, it's the coolest thing on the face of the planet.
It really is.
In the universe.
And I didn't take enough care of the brain at the time. You know what I mean? Because I didn't understand
most muggles and normies don't.
When I was a normie,
yeah,
I treated this guy terribly.
It's one of those things like you don't know what you have until it's gone, or
you don't know what you got till it's gone. I don't want to pay for it. Right.
But it's that thing. It's like once you have some sort of injury, then you're like, oh, that's what I had, or that. And, you know, you weren't aware of it. Like I have a cousin who plays football. He's had multiple concussions, but he hasn't had one as severe as me. So he doesn't quite understand. He's younger too, but he doesn't quite understand. He's like, well, I've had like 3 concussions. And I'm like, well, 1, stop.
Right.
Number
2, yay?
Yeah.
Like, why are you so proud of that?
Yeah. I'm like, okay. But I'm like, but it also depends on where your head injury was, how severe it was. I'm even thinking that multiple years of sparring, you get reverberation kind of concussions.
Right. It's like just the mini hits. It's like getting stabbed, the pinholes, 1,000.
Oh yeah. The death by 1,000 cuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, as opposed to one large one.
Yeah.
It's still bad.
Yeah.
It's still bad.
So I think those of us in the brain injury community and those adjacent to us, caretakers and friends and family, I think you then get a higher awareness of how much we need to value our brains and neuroscience and neurotechnology, because
we're still learning stuff.
Oh, we're in the infancy of everything.
We really are. And I'll always go back to like Janine. You know, the doctor's like, hey, if you can like hold off on the brain surgery now, 8 years from now, we're going to figure it out.
Exactly.
He's confident that they're going to figure it out. And I was like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, like that we're just leaps and bounds.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's recovery's been strange. It's been awesome. It's been crazy. It's given me a new perspective on life. Like I actually enjoy the heck out of this stuff. Audible is offering our listeners a free audiobook with a 30-day trial membership. As a brain injury or a stroke survivor like myself, it's hard for me to get through reading books due to my injury. But with Audible, I can now enjoy as many books as I want just by listening. Before I started using Audible, I was having trouble reading my brain buddy Mimi Hayes' book, I'll Be Okay, It's Just a Hole in My Head. But once it popped up on Audible, I immediately put it on my wish list. Read Mimi's book with us. That's right, the NeuroNerds are forming a book club. What a great way for our brain injury survivor community to read books together. And even if you don't want to read the book we're reading, with this free trial, you can select any book of your choice for free. Go to audibletrial.com/theneuronerds. Boom!
Boom! So let's talk progress.
Oh,
yeah. Was that enough of a buffer intro?
That was.
To get okay.
That was.
So we're gonna now delve in.
Oh man, we're gonna talk about me. I was trying to avoid that.
I know.
Actually. Like so
That's
bad.
why I was talking a lot because I'm trying to like eat like kitty pull him in like
I was like
toes in the water.
Desperately trying not to talk about it. Not that I don't want to.
It's just a hard subject.
It is.
It's emotional and it's very personal. But that's why everyone likes to listen to it because you can then give them permission to, reflect and reconcile what they're going through by talking about you.
Be better than me. Like I talk a lot and I try to follow my own advice. I don't at all. I think that, you know what? This is my stroke-iversary.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to try to be, obviously
goals?
I want to be better.
We're making goals?
Goals that I'm going to not just practice what I preach. If I say something, I have to be able to do that or else I can't say it,
Yes. But make sure it's that same thing again. We can't be so rigid.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I've been a lot more kind to myself. You've been a lot
better. So this has been my job since literally the beginning.
Since day one.
Since day one, since our dinner party meetup, our serendipitous meeting has been with Joe, where I think a lot of us used to live in a world of black and white, a world of absolutes, right?
Yes.
But what happens when you have a brain injury? Everything becomes gray, right? And that's the hard part is that we live in a world that they always say you should be gray. Nothing is black or white ever. But the majority of the world lives in black or white. And so we now have to occupy that space of gray.
Yeah.
Which is scary because there's no rules that we're aware of. And we as a society and as a species, we thrive on structure, right? We thrive on hierarchy. We thrive on knowing our place in society and our place in the world, our place in religion, the universe, blah, blah, blah. But when you live in the gray, like you don't have a place anymore. So you have to create your place.
You do.
So we created the NeuroNerds. Yeah. So now you have a place.
Exactly. We created a community selfishly because we're selfish human beings. Just for ourselves.
Yeah. We were lost in the nebulous world of like, where do we go now?
Like, we really were because when we first met, and I mean, it was amazing. Like,
yeah, it was
not that
synergy.
I felt great because I was alive and I started to feel like, wow, like I live. This is amazing. But there was that like little cloud over my head where I was like, nobody really understands. I was like, nobody really understands. I'm so happy to be here, but I'm so lost. I'm here, but I have no idea where here is.
Adrift.
Because everything was great. It was a new everything. And Felice was there, but she couldn't 100% understand. My family absolutely couldn't understand. My friends thought I was fine again because Joe's being an idiot. Because, that's just who I am.
They didn't know defense mechanisms.
Right, exactly. They didn't know, like, he's not that I was acting out, but I was like, I front. I present well. And I presented so well. But I was still really, really lonely. And then I met Lauren. I was like, oh my God. That was like a huge corner I turned in recovery. There are others like me. So then when we started doing this regularly, it was just amazing. Like, I can't tell you how many times after we were done, I would just sit down and just like be in tears.
Oh, it's okay. This is good. Talk through it. People need to hear this.
Like right now.
Oh.
It was
it was gonna make me cry.
So Lauren, I love you. Like,
I love you too.
You've been such a huge help to me. And it's been 3 years of recovery. And I could not have gotten to this point without you. And I mean that. And not only for us. So then we hit a certain point where it's like, wow, this is great. We're
helping
growing.
Each other.
We're helping each other. This is beautiful. And then we started helping other people.
Yeah.
We did like a little Instagram live thing. And we had a woman from Belgium yell at Lauren. Such a beautiful thing. There was several people from London.
Yep.
There was in Spain. There was 2 people from Spain. And like worldwide. We are helping people all over the world not feel like we felt because we know how it feels to feel alone and isolated. We never want that to happen. I could not have done this without Lauren.
If you build it, they will come.
Exactly. We did.
Yeah.
And again, we did it selfishly. we did it for ourselves. And then we just started to grow this thing. And not only to help ourselves, but to help like the world. We're building this community one survivor at a time. And I think we both take that very seriously. Because that's why I'm here almost in tears sharing this that I don't want to share.
No, we're doing good. So I'm going to drag more out of it slowly. I have my ways, guys. I'm sure you can.
She did bring a butterfly knife. into the house.
It's in my purse now.
So not that
I don't own one.
Not that she needs that, because Lauren is honestly a human weapon. She really is. Please don't hurt me.
So I like the idea of the goals that you're setting for, a lot of people do New Year's goals, they do birthday goals, but I think all of us have that extra special anniversary now.
This is a biggie.
Right? Which is, so we have another chance to set goals. And sometimes goals can be intimidating because they're sometimes hard to reach. So I'm all about setting achievable goals. Like I like the idea of like big, like I want to change the world goals. That's great. Right? Like go into a vat of nuclear waste and become like, go to Chernobyl and become a superpower or something. Oh my
God. Did you see the stupid influencers that were doing that?
Oh God. That's Darwinism working itself out there.
Keep doing that, influencers.
I know, right?
They're like, do I have superpowers? No, you have melanoma.
I know. So if one of your goals is to, and maybe it's not necessarily practice what you preach, but maybe be more cognizant of it, right?
Yeah.
Maybe
I feel like I jump into the imposter syndrome thing.
Yes.
Every once in a while.
I think we all do. I do too.
I internally beat myself up.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Where I'm like, you gave this person amazing advice, yet you're doing the exact opposite. You dummy.
Well, I was gonna say, and do you speak that nicely to yourself?
No.
Nope. I think I'm sure there is somewhere in there calling yourself a piece of shit.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, moron.
Yeah.
Moron's a biggie.
Yeah.
It's just like you're garbage. Like, why can't you just do this?
Hey, so moron, I love that word, but let's reframe the word moron because you've been watching Good Omens.
Yeah,
right?
Actually, you know what? It's exactly how you described it.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It's pure. It's
fun.
Cute. It's light. But so anytime he thinks of the word moron, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Good Omens, go watch it.
Go watch it or Lauren will hit you. Yeah. Karate kick noise.
I will come out of whatever you're listening to us on, your phone, your computer, whatever, and choke the life. Get Amazon Prime and go watch it.
She's not joking.
But so again, spoiler. So people who ship Crowley and Aziraphale, right? So they're saying that Crowley is moron sexual.
Oh, wow. That's funny.
So they're both moron sexual. They're not attracted to anyone except their fellow morons.
That's actually really, really funny.
Every time you try to call yourself a moron, I want you to start thinking about moron sexual and start laughing.
That's really, really fun. I'm going to be really mad at myself and be like,
exactly. So I'm going to tell Fel she's moron sexual.
She's absolutely attracted to me because that's right. Joe Borges of NeuroNerds, super attractive man. Oh, come on, man. Come on. That shouldn't be silent. There should have been like cheers. And anyways.
Maybe Fel will put in crickets and cheers at the same time.
Absolutely won't. It's just going to be crickets.
Okay, so what other goals do we have?
I think, so my goal was to grow every day. And for a while, I was like, reverted. And then I was like really mean to myself.
Negative growth is still growth.
I called myself a moron sexual.
Yay, moron sexual.
So I think I still like that. I think every day I just want to be a little bit stronger, be a little bit more myself. And I say that, I know it's 3 years out and I'm more myself than I've ever been, but I want
your next Pokemon stage, not old Joe.
Right. I want to become a Raichu.
Okay.
You
don't want to be a Pika. You want to be Raichu.
Is that what he sounds like?
Yeah.
I don't know. I actually kind of want to say as Pikachu because I think he's cute.
Okay, then pick another Pokemon.
Wait, I want to be like an Eevee. Because Eevee has like a bunch of different evolutions.
Flareon or something like that.
Yeah, I want to be Flareon or Espeon.
I'm like, okay, so Eevee is woo-wee.
Why do you know that?
Because I'm a kid. I was a nerd kid. I am a nerd.
Lauren, queen nerd. Like, I mean that. You really are. I think I want to help this community. Like, I really do.
So do you acknowledge that you already have been? Can you please acknowledge that right now?
It's so hard.
I know. So I'm putting you on the spot while we're being recorded. Please acknowledge right now, because the way that goal is framed is that you haven't done anything. Okay. Guys, help me out by calling Joe out when he tries to do this self-deprecating bullshit. Right? So you should hear me in your head now when you're trying to be too mean to yourself.
That's true. I flinch.
So can you acknowledge that you have already currently been helping the community?
I think I've been doing my best to try to help the community.
Can you please acknowledge that you've already been helping the community and those that listen to us and those that reach out?
Yes.
Say it. I acknowledge.
I acknowledge that I've helped a few people.
I acknowledge. No. Because you said a few people.
I think so.
A few is less than a handful. Okay. Guys, if Joe has somehow touched you in your life, not physically. Yeah, please no. But if throughout listening to us, or if you've been on a Brain Buddy call, you're part of the Stromies, or you're on You So Rocks. If Joe's story has helped you in some way, impacted your life, or if you're adjacent, if you're a NeuroNerd adjacent, and even just listening to us has brought you more awareness to the community and how to help those in your life, can you please drop him a line somewhere? Can you guys text him, Instagram, message, Facebook, and just kind of tell him that you're doing good, Joe. You're helping.
You guys are too kind.
He's over here like looking at me like, God damn it, Lauren, I'm going to cry more. That's the goal.
I honestly, I just want to help people. You know what I mean? Like,
Joe loves to hear from you guys. So if you, I'm absolutely serious from the bottom of my heart. I know. So from the bottom of my heart, guys, to help him out with his stroke-iversary, because it's a hard time. Those of you who've had an anniversary from a brain injury, you know how hard it can be. It's great, but it's also extremely vulnerable.
It's so real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so real.
You kind of run the gamut of all the emotions.
You do, because you go back to the moments that were so difficult that you didn't know that you'd be able to get past.
Or it's the fact of like 3 years ago, I could be dead.
The mortality, like you just, you're a normal human being. Yeah. I know you think, Joe Borges, no way you're a normal human being, but still, like you just think, like that. I was that close to not being here. And not only that, the deficits that come along with that. Like, I'm so functional comparison. I'm so happy. But then you also think, well, why? Why am I doing so well?
So I'm going to do a hashtag. I'm going to do a campaign. I'm going to come up with a hashtag right now. Hashtag we love Joe or something like that. Joe-iversary. Hashtag Joe-iversary. But yeah, if you guys can just comment on Instagram, send him a message, Facebook, just let him know if and how he has impacted your life. And if he hasn't, just send him love anyway, so Lauren doesn't come kill you.
Oh, Lauren kick noise.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you to our amazing community on Patreon for supporting this podcast.
You can support us too and get different perks and gifts depending on which Neuro Jedi tier you sign up for. For example, if you're on our Neuro Padawan $5 tier, then you're probably listening to this episode a day early before its public release.
Your support helps us grow and continue to create this podcast. Plus, a portion of the proceeds go to a different cause or individual in the brain injury survivor community each month. Sign up at patreon.com/the-NeuroNerds.
But
I appreciate that. Like, my main focus, like
you don't need no birthday gifts.
No, I just
some love.
Love, guys. I really, if I had wishes, one of the wishes would be to help everybody. If wishes were fishes? Exactly. I'd be swimming in the ocean. I want to help everybody in the community. Like it's hard because we know what it's like, and I think we both wish that we had something like this when we were going through our recovery. Yeah.
So we didn't think either we were making it up or we're being too sensitive or making it worse than what it is. I still go through that sometimes where I'm just like, man, what I had is not that big deal.
Oh my, it is a big deal.
It is a big deal.
It is a big deal. It's a huge deal. And all I want to do is help you too. You know what I mean?
I know.
All we want to do is help the community because I know how difficult it is. And I just want to help everybody. And you guys will help me out a lot if you actually reach out to me because Joe gets exhausted.
Yeah.
I still have my my brain buddy outreach. I reach out to a new person with a brain injury or a stroke survivor every single day. I've done that since February.
You should be very proud of that. And you should acknowledge that you've been doing that and that's been great work.
I am. I'm really happy with the amount of people.
Hashtag acknowledge Joe. Or Joe acknowledgement.
Hashtag
acknowledge Joe. I'm going to come up with a hashtag.
Hashtag arrogant Joe. No? So, I had somebody reach out to me from Mexico.
That's awesome.
It was really cool. It was the girlfriend.
Did you practice your Spanish?
Nope. But we found a loophole. So you're going to be involved in this, by the way.
Oh, I am.
Yeah. You're going to be the translator at some point. So her boyfriend had a hemorrhagic stroke.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he has a little bit of aphasia. And then, so again, immediately the first thing that goes through my head, because Joe's an idiot, is, yeah, but I didn't have aphasia. And like, why does he? And what, like, it's just that whole weird thing.
Fact check. Joe did suffer aphasia in the very early stages of his recovery.
So his girlfriend is going to be the intermediary. She's going to be the translator between us.
Perfect. Guys, if you don't speak English and you listen to us,
Lauren speaks every language.
I was going to say, between who we know, we can communicate somehow. Even if all you speak is Mandalorian or Klingon, I swear I can find someone.
She can because she speaks both of them.
I don't, but I have friends who do. So if you would like to communicate with us in some or Dothraki or High Valyrian, like we'll make it work.
It's just amazing, Lauren. I have so much love for you. It's crazy. But it's very helpful for me if you reach out to me, because I reach out to you guys all the time. And it's like when I say, hey, reach out to me, I'd love to talk to you, I honestly mean that.
Yeah.
I love to talk to you guys, because it's not like misery loves company, but like nobody understands what we go through than us, you know?
Agreed.
And I think it's mutually beneficial for everybody. I think it's helpful for us to like share our stories and connect. And then in turn, we can now share stories and connect with other people.
Yes.
Like we're building this community, and I want to build it out, and I want to make this big, giant connection thing. I just want to hug the earth. You know what I mean? I don't want to be like a tree hugger.
Do you really want to hug the earth, or do you want to hug the people on the earth of your choice?
Well, if they allow me to, because, 2019, ask permission.
When in doubt, ask permission.
Thanks to our sponsor, Avid Technology, for providing us with the tools, or should I say pro tools, to record, edit, and mix our podcast and get our message out clearly to the world.
Try Avid first to start recording today for free at avid.com/pro-tools.
Yay.
Yay. Is there anything you want to say, share, or close on?
I want to thank every single person that's helped me along the way. So obviously, Felice has been the most important person in my recovery.
God bless that woman. She is a saint.
She really, really is. She had every opportunity to be like, I don't want to be with this thing. You know what I mean? Like it was.
I gave him a face. I was like, you're not allowed to be mean to yourself. More on sexual.
More on sexual. She's been amazing from the beginning all the way through, and I know I drive her crazy, and I know how difficult things are for her. And I in no way, shape, or form would I be anywhere near what I am today without her. You tiny little basket case.
I like that. I am #basket case.
I think I again, in the same way, in a completely different way, in the exact same way, because again, that's she's doing it in the significant other caregiver way. You're doing it in the community we're friends way, because you've actually been through it, and I can't appreciate you more. And I wouldn't be here today doing this, and I wouldn't be this far in my recovery without you. You've been such a tremendous help. And I honestly, Lauren, I don't know where I'd be without you, especially doing this, especially with that face you just made. Boom. Every single person.
My little dork face.
So I think what I want to do, I actually want to do like a think thing with like all the people that have helped me like along the way. I think I might do that in August, all of August.
Some sort of like in honor of your, we're going to come up with a hashtag. It'll go in the body of the episode. Use that hashtag.
Yeah. And I'll be like, yeah, of course, like Felice, and then Lauren. And then you know what? So the most important people in my recovery, obviously Felice, obviously you, and my occupational therapist, Kaylee. You guys are the three most important people in my recovery. And I mean that. And I think about sometimes, because Joe's an emotional being who was raised by all women, and I cry. I cry how amazing my girlfriend's been.
Emotions are good.
They are. I cry how amazing and helpful you've been to me. I cry how incredible my occupational therapist is. Joe cries because Joe's a grown-ass man. And it's been established. It's not an attractive cry, but they're tears. Every single person that I've contacted, that has contacted me, that we've spoken about anything and everything through this recovery, like I am so grateful to all of you guys. And I am always here, just like the NeuroNerds. We're always here. You guys are never alone, because you have us. You have me. You have Lauren. You have not just us. The brain buddies. Kyle from the Stroke of Genius. Jamie from Stroke Survivors Never Quit. Sarah, Angie, Tamsin from the Stromies.
We got You So Rock.
The You So Rock community. Like, I love you guys. Like, I built that because I wanted other people to be in contact with one another. You know what I mean? And slowly but surely, we're building this thing. We're building this community, and I take it very seriously. And I just honestly, I just want to help. I really do. And with all the survivors that are kind of like local-ish in my area, I'm trying to figure out something that we're gonna do. The idea was floated, bowling, but a lot of us have physical deficits.
Yeah,
I'm not sure 100% how that would work.
I say we all learn how to twerk.
Oh my God.
It'll be the stroke off. Twerk off.
Wait. Can we just stop?
Sorry. Whoa. Sorry. It would be
Hey, after the twerk off, there would definitely be a stroke off.
Oh God, I am sorry I said that.
Oh my God, it's the most perfect thing ever. Stroke off. That's right, Joe Borges, forever 13.
I can't even say something on accident or innocently anymore.
There's nothing innocent about a stroke off. In what world is the word or the phrase stroke off not perverted? Are you a stroke or brain injury survivor looking for community and support? Well, the NeuroNerds are here to help. Join our hashtag USORock Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/USORock to connect with other survivors like you.
Plus, read other inspirational brain injury survivor stories on Joe's blog at josorocks.com/USORock. And submit your stories there as well. We want to hear them.
And remember,
you so rock.
Stop laughing at us. So I was actually thinking like a brain buddy lunch.
Oh, that'd be cute.
Or a brain buddy brunch. You know what I mean? Like maybe we can figure out something where just people can like sit down, brain buddy picnic, like, and just like sit down and converse. Because once a month, Felice gets her hair done. And I sit down with Michael, who's a stroke survivor, and he's doing a play about his stroke and his brain injury and everything. And when we sit, it's just so amazing. It's mind blowing. It's so helpful to me. I hope it's helpful to him. And it's just so beautiful. Like this, boom. Wow, we've been talking for 4 hours, you know, and it's just such a beautiful thing. So I want to make sure that that happens. And that's a goal for sure. Well, I was going to say for August, but I don't know. It's creeping. There's a lot. So I'm just going to say it's a goal for this year.
Okay.
Right. So if anybody is in
creeping. Yeah.
Because they don't want to pay for the song. So we're going to just
We should combine the two. Because I'm a creep.
Oh, I love that song.
So do I.
I'm a creep. Okay.
Yeah, and moving on.
So if there's any survivor in the greater Los Angeles area, please reach out to me. I know there's about 7 or 8 of you.
We're going to do roll call.
We are. And so I'm also building a spreadsheet. That's right. Get excited. We're talking spreadsheets.
You're going to be on a list.
That sounds like a threat, Lauren. That's so any of you survivors out there, I'm going to reach out to you, but please, again, it's so much easier if you guys reach out to me. It's so helpful. I want to create a spreadsheet with all your names, where you guys live. Not like you're a dread. We're not going to come stalk you unless you want us to. So like where you guys live.
I don't condone that.
Your stroke-iversary, like when it happens, so I can reach out and be like, hey, happy stroke-iversary, and like post it and do all this stuff. And well, the reason why I want to know like where you guys live, so I can connect you guys, you know, because there's a lot of people who you guys haven't really hung out with other stroke survivors. And it's so helpful. Again, Lauren with her brain injury, me with my brain injury. When we start talking, it's like, oh,
superpowers unite.
We are one of twin powers activate. So 3 years in, I'm doing pretty good. I got to tell you, it's not. So I had this conversation with somebody where, life is very, very difficult. It is. I'm choosing to focus on the good. And I've never done that in my entire life.
Yay.
So these 3 years, they have not been easy.
No.
They have not been. But I'm very happy to be here to go through these struggles. And it's how you adapt and adjust to these struggles. You don't focus on them. Yeah, that sucks. You know what's good? Friends, family, the beautiful air that we're breathing when it's not toxic. Hey, air conditioning.
Feel
we have
the
that
rain
now.
on your skin. Right?
So it's reframing everything. It's living life. It's enjoying it. It's being next to your fellow man or woman. It's not being punched in the face. It's not being punched in the face by Lauren, which is always a beautiful thing for me. Not even punched in the face, kicked in the face.
I haven't done that
yet. She always throws in yet. She doesn't say it, but you know.
I leave the option open.
You could see it in her eyes. So a heartfelt thank you to every single one of you guys for being a part of my recovery. Whether you're directly a part, whether you're just kind of in the background, whether I've never met you before and you just enjoy listening to my idiot self.
The dulcet tones of his voice.
I appreciate that. I wear my idiocy as like a badge of honor. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do. I'm so proud of it.
We're going to make him a little badge.
Somebody was like, well, you say idiot. Like, no. When I say idiot, I don't mean like a bad thing. When I say moron in my head, it's a bad thing.
Yes.
When I say idiot, I'm like, yeah.
But now when you hear moron,
I'm a moron sexual.
Yes.
It's so dirty.
I'm like, and on that note.
So on that beautiful 3-year recovered, Joe's still here, damn it, notes.
Snaps.
I'd like to thank Lauren L. Manzano, who you could follow on Instagram at Lauren L. Manzano. I'd like to thank myself.
Yes, as you
where
should.
You can follow me at JosoRux everywhere.
Send him. Remember what I asked for you guys. Send it there.
I'd also, as a, I don't know, I'd like to thank us.
Yes.
As the NeuroNerds.
The NeuroNerds.
And you can follow us
at the NeuroNerds
everywhere. Really, really a heartfelt thank you. And on that beautiful, amazing Joe lived note, these NeuroNerds are out.